Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I've been on YouTube, so if you're new to me, hi. My name is Tori, I'm a hairstylist, but I like to dabble in lots of different things, so I keep myself pretty busy. So since I've been gone, I have started doing lots of different things, which I'll get into here in a little bit while I'm doing other things, but today's video is going to be about reviewing the new Smashbox Studio Skin. This is the 24-hour full coverage foundation. So if you've seen any of my previous videos when I've done makeup reviews, what I've talked about the most is the Smashbox Studio Skin. This is the original, and this is the like medium coverage, oil-free, supposed to be 24-hour and all that. Now, if you've seen my videos, this is the only foundation that has ever worked 100% for my skin type on its own. I have oily skin. I've fought acne for years. I have adult acne still. But this was the only one that would actually last on my face and looked the most natural. Now, I don't know if they've reformulated, but in the past, this used to oxidize pretty bad. Like, I would say at least a shade to 2 shades full oxidation. But like my main thing was that no coverage. It was just, it said it could be buildable, but to me it didn't really feel like I could cover my redness. This is my face primed. I've washed, moisturized, and primed. It's not nearly as bad as I've had it in the past, but I still have some just, redness on the face here. And that was the main thing that I wanted to cover. I normally just have a few like little, like leftover spots that have, that the redness hasn't gone away from, but for the most part it's just the general redness in my face. So I'm going to show you how I like this, how this works, and give you my thoughts and feelings on it, and kind of update you on some of my new makeup favorites. So if you're new, please drop a comment down below. I like hearing from you guys. I'm still technically new to YouTube, so I'm really still finding my feet. So say hi, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and let's get started. So first things first, in the original Smashbox, I was using shade 1.1. So when I went to find this, I actually saw a review from Tati first. I have been just praying for years they would come out with a foundation that was full coverage because, like I've said before, for whatever reason, I've tried almost every foundation I could think of that was made for like oily skin that was more full coverage, and this is the only one that didn't leave me looking dry or looking like cake face or whatever. So when this came out, I was super excited. So luckily my shade on there was 1.1, which corresponds with the other foundations as well. You can see that the shades look pretty much the same, but what I will say is that this one is like 100% true to shade. Like, it actually stays that shade all day long. It does not oxidize like crazy. So the first thing I've learned is that you need a tiny bit, which is crazy because for me, doing full coverage foundation, normally you have to put it on a little bit thicker. That is plenty. So I want you to just see the difference here. So I'm just gonna put it on half for just a sec so we can see like the difference between the two. And I'm working backwards right now from my monitor, so if I look like a doofus, that's why. What I've learned too is that this dries really quickly. And so normally when I would put on foundation, I would literally put it over my whole face and then buff it in, but you can't do this with this one. I mean, if you're quick, you can, but it's just smarter to do little bits at a time. And then, like I've always said, it's so much easier just to go in with a little bit, and then if you need any more, touch it back up. Check out the difference here. Let me come in just a little bit here. So you can see the difference between the covered side and the non-covered side. For me, the biggest thing, other than just being called a full coverage foundation, is it actually covers my redness. I don't have to go back in and, conceal, spot conceal, or any of that stuff. Like, this is, oh my God, I can't even tell you how excited I am for this foundation. If anybody else deals with redness in their face, it is a pain in the butt to cover. It's a pain in the butt to have a more natural looking makeup without it being too heavy, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So I'm going to finish the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, so there is the finished result. I can't even say enough about this foundation, just about how it feels and everything, but this is how I've always wanted a foundation to feel, where it doesn't feel greasy, it doesn't feel oily, it feels like soft but velvety. It's just, I don't know. I'm just so impressed, which is, you know, rare for me because I've spent so many years trying to find a foundation that would work for my skin type, which is really picky because it's sensitive and oily and whatever. Alright, so now I'm going to go on to concealer. So a new concealer that I've been using is the Maybelline Instant Rewind multi-use concealer. So this is the one that's got the little puff on the top. The only problem is that the cap gets pretty dirty just because you'll get makeup all the way around this little puff. But it's got a little twist cap, and you just twist the makeup up in there, and a couple twists will last me a long time. I'm actually super impressed with this concealer. I normally avoid drugstore because drugstore tends to not work with my skin type. But this one actually does, and I'm just super impressed. It's nice and creamy. It has never creased, not even one time, which is insane for my skin type, like I said. It just looks natural. It's just unbelievable how great it is. I've seen a lot of this in reviews from YouTubers and stuff, and so I went to try it and thought, meh, it's much cheaper than, you know, Shape Tape, so if I don't like it, oh well. And I've actually become super impressed with what it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a very light set on my foundation and my concealer. I'm still using the Dermablend loose powder, and I buy the two shades. I actually buy translucent and I buy the cool beige. That is mixing cool beige and translucent together. So I do like a teensy bit of color to my powder, but I don't need a ton of coverage with this because I want my foundation to be more of the coverage factor for me. So now I'm just going to come in and lightly powder my face, which once again is crazy for me. Normally I would take a sponge, a damp sponge, and really pack it in to set everything, and I just don't have to do that. Now I will say, it does say, you know, it's oil free and all that kind of stuff. I still have to use setting spray. Not that the makeup actually comes off, which is amazing, but that I get oilier if I don't use setting spray. It is summer, I'm in Texas, so setting spray is your best friend here. So, but for me to not have to actually pack it on is just a huge thing for me. Now, the one thing I have noticed with this foundation that I did not have to do before is I actually have to bronze my face. I work in a salon, you know, I have my own suite, and I have lots of lighting in there, but I still have those harsh fluorescent lights up above, and I just feel like without the bronzing, I look a little flat, I guess is the word. So I'm using the Wet n Wild, I don't know if you can even read this. Yeah, I'm using the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. And what I really like about this, I actually didn't like it at first, but what I actually really do like is that it's very light coverage. It's got a tiny sheen to it, which normally I wouldn't like. That's why I didn't use it for the longest time. But the sheen actually helps out with the matte finish of this foundation. So I just come in and I'm actually just going to bronze the face here just to warm it up all the way around, just to give me a little bit of color. Because like I said, this is actually 100% full coverage for me. This would be the fullest coverage I've ever probably used that didn't dry me out. But you can see a little bit of a sheen around the face here. And I'm actually okay with that. Like I said, normally I wouldn't be, but because this is so matte, which I do love, I just need a little bit of extra warmth. So the first couple days when I wore this, I was like, I love the foundation. I had like a little weird patch on my chin, but I realized it was from the primer. So I switched primers. And then I realized I was just a little too flat looking, like a little, need a little bit of warmth. I was still contouring, but anyway, wasn't enough. So I'm actually just bronzing up makes the biggest difference for me with this foundation. So you can see now I just have a little bit more warmth, nothing crazy. That's why I like this, it's really light. So like if you are new to contour, you know, that's a really easy thing to try. It's not heavy, so if you get heavy-handed, it's not going to be the end of the world. So after I have bronzed, I'm going to come in with my contour now. And so since I have bronzed, I actually don't need as much contour as I did with other foundations. I'm using the Wet n Wild contouring palette. This one can get really dark really fast, so you do have to be careful. But I think that's the advantage of bronzing first, because I just don't feel like I need quite as much as I did before. And I am doing this in my monitor without my mirror, so I hope I don't turn out crazy in the end. But I do like to do the little bit of darker contour all the way around the face, just like you see in the other YouTube videos. Patrick Star blush. This is I'm Not Blushing. But my new favorites for my eyebrows are actually this Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. This is in medium brown. And this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I am surprised that I really like this color. This, I don't even know if it has a color name. Oh yeah, it does. Natural Brown. So this is one of those like fiber brows, so I don't even know if you can tell or not. So you see those little fibers sticking off the end there? This actually has added fibers into the brow shape. What I like to do is I like to come in first with this, just to fill in a little bit, kind of brush the brows, and it gives them just a little color without being too dark. This is like a great brown shade. If you don't want it to be too warm, you know how sometimes you can go buy a brow product and it's like brown, like holy crap brown. Nobody has brown eyebrows like that. This is perfect. It's a little bit more on the ashy side if you are a color friend of mine, which is perfect because I don't have warm brows. I have a more of an ashy natural color. There's no like extra warmth to my hair color, so my brows are the same way, so I don't need that extra warmth. Okay, so I'm gonna do my brows, but I thought I'd talk to you while I'm doing my brows, just kind of about what I've been doing and you know, why I haven't been on YouTube. But you know, YouTube's a lot of work. I don't think everybody that hasn't tried it understands. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's time consuming. You know, you've got to come up with content. You've got to make sure that people care about your content, and you got to start from scratch. Like, I literally started from scratch. I'm not buying followers, I'm not buying subscribers. So when you start from scratch, it's hard work. You know, when you're new to the business, and it's like anything, it's like a first-time job. You know, you want to do a good job, you hope that people like it, you know, but it's hard work, and in the end, you hope it pays off. It's a risk, right? So YouTube, it's a time thing. You know, if I'm not doing YouTube, what else could I be doing with my time? I could be working on my business, you know. I could be, you know, doing a video for my jewelry and, you know, my Tori's Jewelry Box website. That's new since I've seen you guys. So since I was last on YouTube, my one video has done really well. I mean, it's been a year, but it's gotten about 10,000 views, and that's been my most popular video. My other video that is the second most popular is my How to Use Dry Shampoo by Living Proof. That was when I had really blonde hair, and that one has gotten a lot of comments and likes, and so that's kind of where I was like, okay, like, maybe I should get back into it. Okay, I have a fan on and my hair's in my face, I'm so sorry. So I'm priming with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This has been a favorite of mine for a while now. So I'm gonna actually bring my mirror back over here since I'm doing my eyes. But you know, going back to my break and everything, I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I get tired of playing the game. You know, like, I am definitely not one of those, like, I don't care if I'm like a, you know, influencer. Like, I originally started doing videos because, you know, I had people asking me, like, hey, I love your makeup, what are you wearing? I love your hair, what are you using on your hair? You know, how did you get your hair that color? You know, whatever. That's why I did it. I really like to help people, and I feel like this is like something fun, and it's kind of like an outlet that I've never tried. And I'm definitely one of those people that's like, you know what, I could do that. Like, why can't I? I could try it, you know. And sometimes it bites me in the butt because I don't realize how hard it was, like YouTube, how much time it takes to make YouTube videos and, you know, edit. And for me, I think the longest part with YouTube was like learning like how to do everything. You know, like, I had to Google everything. I don't have someone showing me how to do lighting and how to do, you know, backdrops. Like, literally, my backdrop, I've got 6 stacks of totes here for my product from my trade shows that I go to, like for the Comic-Cons I've been going to. And my curtain here was one I had at the salon, and I took that and I traded it out for a white one at the salon, and that's my backdrop now. So I've got, like, it's like a janky little setup, but actually it looks better than I think what I've done in the past. But it's like not even a foot behind me. So, you know, it's one of those, like, where you kind of, like, learn as you go, and you hope that you get better and it looks better over time. You know, like, it takes money. Like, if you're gonna buy, you know, if you don't have a good camera, I'm using my iPhone, but you can use a camera, but if you don't have one, the cameras are expensive. You know, lighting, I have a ring light, and I've got, you know, box lights and, you know, stuff like that. You know, it just takes time learning how to do everything. Actually, I'm gonna go back. I'm using the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I went in with this shade here, and then I'm gonna go in with maybe this reddish color today in the crease, and then I'm gonna use a different palette for some shimmer. But yeah, like I said, I just get tired of playing the game. Like I said, I'm not gonna buy followers. I'm not going to, you know, I just genuinely want to help people and give people my honest feedback about things. If they like it, great. If they don't, that's fine. You know, we don't have to be best friends. But I've been so busy between the salon and I started doing Tori's Jewelry Box, which is my website where I sell all my, like, gifty, nerdy type things too. So, you know, I started doing that this last summer, and it's been a lot of fun. I've done some Comic-Cons. I've got another one coming up next month. So yeah, I've just been busy. Like, I literally, like, I had a client the other day tell me, she's like, what do you not do? And I was like, I don't know. Since I've been on my own, doing my own salon business, and, you know, basically been 100% dependent on myself, not relying on anybody else to bring in clients for me, or, you know, it's just been really freeing, and it's been nice to, you know, like, I don't know, just do what I want to do. Like, if I want to try do a YouTube video, do a YouTube video. If I want to, you know, take off a Saturday and go do a Comic-Con and sell my wares, I can do that. Like, it's just nice. I've just been exploring, like, what do I want to do with myself? Like, that's why, like, my YouTube videos are kind of like my real life. Like, I do a lot of things, and that's how my YouTube is. I don't just do one thing, because I like lots of things, and I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be like, okay, they're like, well, you need to pick a niche, because if you don't pick a niche, then everybody's gonna, like, not follow you because you don't just do one thing. But I would like to watch people that don't do just one thing. So, like I said, if people like it, great, you know. So I'm gonna do the shimmer with this palette I just got the other day. This is Makeup Revolution. It's kind of like fall shades, but you've got some really nice browns in there. And I have blue eyes, so I do like to wear some orangey shades. Now I did like a warmer orange in the crease here, so I've got a couple options. I think I'm gonna do 2 shades. I just want to do this brighter orange in the inner corner here. But with this one, I just use my finger. Ooh, that is pretty. But I've been really liking this palette. It's, like I said, it's the Makeup Revolution is a little bit more affordable than some of the other brands that are out there. And I'd never used it before, so I thought I'd give it a shot and see. And I've actually been really impressed. I don't think do they have a name for this palette? This one's called Foil Frenzy. Intensely Pigmented Foil Shadows. So. And I don't know the proper way, like, I know foil shadows go on differently than other shadows, so I don't know if, you know, I don't know if I'm putting it on the right way, but I figured out what works for me. So now I gotta find what to go on the outside. It's funny because that one looks blue in the light here. So now what I have noticed about this eyeshadow, though, is that when you go to put 2 shades together, of course, I'm using my finger, so like I said, if there's a better way to do it, then I don't know it. But when I'm using my finger, it does kind of take off the other shade that you're putting it on top of. So, let me know if anybody else feels the way I do about social media, where you do get a little bit tired of it, especially when you have a business. It's all about the pay-to-play game, and it kind of gets old. So I don't know. That's probably why. I put too much on my plate, and then I got sick of the game, and you know, it's crazy that my one video, like how YouTube works, like you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can even, you know, get paid for anything. Even though like my video has like 10,000 views, which is crazy. I've never had any video on my Facebook or YouTube do that good. So, but I'll link those down below if you guys want to check them out. And like always, I use the Lancome Big Monsieur. This is in black. It is my favorite mascara. Yeah, so. Okay, I'm gonna pop on a lip and then we'll be done with this video. But this is my full face. What do you guys think? Like I said before, the Smashbox has been a complete game changer for me. I literally can't say in the last 10 years that I've had a better full coverage foundation than this. And I've been using Smashbox, the regular studio skin, for a long time. So it's super awesome for someone like me with problem skin, who's got redness, who has trouble covering it all, to be able to have something like this that actually covers with like, I mean, this is gonna last me forever. I can't believe how little bit I used. So let me know if you guys have used this and what you think about it. I'd be interested to know how it works on other skin types. So I am gonna set really quick. And I've been using the e.l.f. makeup setting mist. And voila, I am done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you are all doing great. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, go hit the button and subscribe for me, and leave a comment down below and let me know if there's something that you're interested in seeing. I'm open to whatever, and suggestions are always appreciated. So see you guys next time. Okay, bye.